Well, ladies and gentlemen, on Home of Fight today, fresh off a massive victory, a very successful debut, Navajo Sterling. How we feeling, man?
Yeah, bro. Feel pretty good. Feel pretty good. I probably look a bit busted up, but this was not from the fight. It was from my hair transplant that I got straight after the fight. So yeah, yeah. I didn't take too much damage, but yeah, happy I got the win.
Well, we'll start there quick because obviously, right around Christmas time, you're talking about getting your late shopping in, and then also, like you just said, the fresh hair transplant. I know Joe Pfeiffer well, and that's exactly
Yeah,
what his hair looked like a couple months ago. I promise you, it works. It
yeah,
comes
yeah.
in. So, what was that process like? Why is the reason for that? You just didn't want to be bald?
Yeah. Well, I was actually gonna shave my head bald at the end of the year. Everyone was like in my comments telling me to shave it off, and I was going to, and then I got offered the like a sponsored sort of hair transplant from the same place that Joe Pfeiffer went. Actually, I saw him on there because I was a little bit nervous and sketched out. But yeah, I ended up going to the same place that he went to, and Marab Dashvili, and yeah, the guy's a real big UFC fan. So I brought him, I signed a hat and stuff for him, and yeah, we got through it. And yeah, I actually just got back yesterday from to New Zealand from the since I left Tampa. So yeah, it's good to be home.
A lot of the UFC guys, it's like, it's in Turkey or something,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, Turkey. Yeah, it must be it's a big thing. I think it's all the testosterone that we get as MMA fighters. Maybe that's why the shaves all of our head off
You just
naturally. So
punch each other's
yeah,
hair off. That's the
yeah,
problem, though.
punching it off and just I don't know. I think just all that wrestling and stuff, just it's probably no good for the hairline.
And let's start this interview out with the fight that just happened. Your big win over Tuco Tokos at UFC Tampa. Very impressive, dominant, unanimous decision. Obviously, fans are going to be fans. And I see
Yeah,
people on Twitter saying, oh my God, he should have found the finish.
yeah,
Why didn't
yeah,
he finish? He wrecked my parlay. You know
yeah,
the
yeah,
deal. So,
yeah.
what do you say to people like that?
Oh, yeah, it's like 50-50. Like 50% of the fans were like, actually, there was fans of the sport were like, oh, that was a good fight. And then obviously the other 50% were gutted because there's the betting side on it. So, I mean, all I have to say is, man, womp, 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 like, I still won, man. I got mine. I just had a crazy year, bro. That was my fourth fight in about 6.5 months. The the fact that I got there was crazy. Got to debut before the year ended. Is like yeah, I had nothing but good things to take away. And yeah, I think everyone will become fans again later. They'll have me on another parlay that I'll hit. So that's a good thing. I remember Dan told me, he was like, people only remember you on your last fight, so just do better on your next one, and everyone will jump ship again. So yeah, they're very very fickle, but it is what it is.
Totally agreed, man. Nothing but things to be proud of from that performance. Very dominant debut, and I, for one, am very excited to see what's next. And I assume, like you just said, 4 fights in a year, man. Like I assume you want some time off because the reason I asked that is obviously they're coming back to Sydney for
Yeah.
312. That's like early February. Is that just too soon?
Yeah, oh, it's a little soon just because I had just had this done. But I mean, I'm as soon as that's done, man, I'm ready to get active. I'll be fighting as much as I can. My ideally I'd like to fight 3 times next year. So that's my goal, is just to just punch it out. And even though I'll have a slow start to the year next year, I think we'll get it once the ball gets running. Man, I'm just gonna punch in and go hard.
And obviously, like when you get in there fresh, you're not necessarily in the spot you feel you could call people out, but
Yeah.
in a non disrespectful way, or maybe disrespectful. I don't know. Are there names that interest you soon, or like sooner rather than later?
Uh, yeah. I just look at the guys that are like my age and the ones that are having the hype. Like Petrino was always one that I wanted to fight, but this was before he had the hype because he's the same age as me. I didn't realize
Hmm.
we're both 27. Man, Dustin Jacoby would be a good matchup. Like just seeing him there as well.
Both coming off big wins too.
Yeah, like I was like watching his fight, and I was like, man, he matches up nice for me. Just being a striker, Um, even Vahiktov would be like a fairy tale fight for me because I kind of came into the sport watching him
Mm,
kickboxing. I was like a big fan of his style, and I stole a lot of his moves, and I'd watched him for a while. So he'd be cool because he's like a big name, but he's still like low key. I'd like to fight him. Um, Man, there's so many guys, bro. There's so many guys that I want to fight. Yeah, obviously I want to do what's realistic. I just got there, but man, like I'm sure if I just keep smoking everyone, like they just give me whoever I want after that.
it
So that's the plan, bro. Is just get the experience.
it do- when you like you just said, like when you start smoking people, when you start winning like that, you get the fans behind you. You don't need to do it 10 fights, man. They'll give you it in two or three.
Yeah.
So play the card smart. Is that like kind of the goal in 2025 with those three or four fights? Like really start knocking on the rankings afterwards?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, whatever makes sense. Like, I don't even care about the rankings, to be honest. Like, I just got there. Oh, I just want the names. Ming Yang Zhang would be a good one too, because he flatlined Chukos in the first round.
Yeah.
Which looked like he looked like he fought a complete different fight. I think maybe he was like a minus 600 favorite in that fight, and then he got flatlined, bro. And yeah, I wouldn't mind fighting him, bro, because he fought one of my teammates back in the day who was a welterweight, that beat
Really?
him. Yeah, he's a welterweight and knocked him out in the Chinese circuit. So yeah, I mean, I would like to fight him, and because he's got a bit of thunder right now, he's coming off some massive KO wins, so it'd be cool to fight him. Um, yeah, just like man, whoever's got the hype, bro, I'm keen to fight them. That's what I want to do.
Well, I mean, like you said, like you're coming off this big win. You certainly have the hype. So whoever you fight next, I'm sure is going to be a good one where the trajectory will just keep going off of that win. And
Yeah.
you're no stranger to working with stars, to being around the
Oh yeah.
aura. Like obviously, City Kickboxing, one of the best gyms in the entire world. And like right now, you got Adesanya gearing up for a
Yeah.
massive fight a week before Sydney,
Yeah.
ironically enough. How's he been in the gym in terms of like how dialed in is he? What's his intensity like?
Oh yeah, real intense. Like he definitely has found a new spark just from seeing like me kind of come through. He's just like fighting, and like for that last fight, he was like in the gym getting me ready for the fight. Just helping me in and out because he was like the only one back while most of the other boys have gone away, or I think Carlos had just fought in Macau against Uzdemir, and yeah, so he was basically helping me for that fight. And then I knew he because he was like training so much. I was like, surely this guy's got a fight. And then yeah, I saw he got matched up. So yeah, he's looking real sharp, bro, from when I last left. And yeah, he's putting in the work, bro. He's putting in the work. I'm such a fan of him, man. I'm so happy to see him fight again. And Imamov's like, he's good. He's got that young fire as well. So he's gonna have to try and put that out and put some respect back on his name.
It's gonna probably be a striking war. I
Yeah.
assume unbiasedly now. You're taking Izzy, I assume.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Oh, every day. Every day I'll take my teammates any day of the week, bro.
And then just talking about your teammates, Manel Kape, great performance from the guy at UFC Tampa, but he just got some beef with your gym, man. Like, did
Oh
you run
yeah.
into him backstage? Were you like, bro, what the hell? Like, what's going
I
on?
mean, like I was never gonna press him because the guy's half my size.
Fair.
He probably don't even know who the hell I was. But I mean, yeah, when I seen him, he didn't say anything to me or my coaches. They were with me. He was pretty calm. I mean, I was like, oh man, like maybe the beef's over. And then he piped up straight away. It's like, it is what it is, bro. Like I'll let Kai handle that when that time comes. But I just got here, so I ain't trying to like stuff up my own opportunities from running it up, trying to like press him, make a name for myself from some backstage drama. I'm like, man, I'm twice the guy's size, bro. Like it is what it is.
He'll still call you out. You hear him chirping at Izzy, man. He don't care.
Yeah,
He's
he'll probably come for me next. He'll probably be like, man, fuck that guy too.
he's a character, but he just got booked with Brandon Royval, which means Kai Kara France maybe has a clear shot to the title. Do you think that's what's
Yeah,
next for Kai?
yeah, I think so. I wouldn't put it past you. I think that's why Kai probably hasn't been matched is he's getting ready to jump to that title fight, which will be sick to have another crack at it. Yeah, he hits hard, bro. I remember before that Usyk fight, I was just like telling everyone, I was like, man, Kai doesn't seem that like pretty scary, but man, I've never seen anyone that small hit that hard, bro. Like, right, he's just got like the touch of death in that right hand, bro, and he knows it too. And he's got like 100 different ways of setting it up, and when it lands, you see those just the reaction, and some of these guys' faces are just like
They're
they
out.
they roll their eyes roll back. It's crazy.
That's rare at flyweight, man. He's definitely a scary dude, and I think he's gonna get his shot real soon here.
Yeah.
A big fight that I want to ask you about at the top of your division, 311. You got Jamal Hill, Yuri Prochazka. Who takes that one, and then a follow up with that? Do either of those guys beat Pereira in a rematch?
Oh man, I honestly can't see them beating Pereira right now. Um, man, Jamal Hill, I think just the inactivity, like it's probably gonna play on him in those 5 round title fights. It's just different, eh? Like when you fight that many times and you're doing 5 round fights, you're just so used to it, bro. Like you know how to when to expend your energy, your experience is there. You know which rounds you need to win. You're picking all the right moves. Like half of those guys have never even been that long. I don't know. I just think Pereira eats them both up. I think he's just too good. Like especially they're not those guys aren't even look to mix in any takedowns. They're not like looking to win. They think they're gonna outstrike him, and
Yeah.
I think that's just the worst game is they're not mixing it up. They're not mixing the martial arts, bro. Like I think I
Against
think
Pereira, you need to.
yeah. Man, they're just asking for a kickboxing fight with the guy. He was a world champion in 2 weight divisions in kickboxing. Like the only one that can strike with him is Israel. And man, that's I don't know about these other guys. Definitely not.
Only person, I mean, other than Pereira that brought it to Izzy was Jan. And the way Jan
Yeah,
did it was mixing it up.
yeah, yeah,
Jan can't outstrike Izzy. You got to mix it up. And
yeah,
it's just a good example, man. Like, that's a great point. You need to mix it up. And for whatever
yeah.
reason, these
Jan,
guys,
Jan looked good against Pereira when they fought. I
yeah,
just remember he just kind of looked like he'd burn himself out on some of the grappling. Like maybe he just didn't know. He's just not used to it. I think because we've never seen him like really offensively grapple like that before. He's just probably not used to that squeeze. And yeah, but that was still a close fight. I reckon out of all of them, Jan would be the better one to kind of fight Pereira. But we'll see, man. Carlos is booked against
yep.
Blachowicz, so yeah, he might come in and steal the fight. He might get fast track past everyone else. I'm eager to. I think Carlos will if he wins all the fights he needs to. Man, we might see Olberg versus Pereira, which would be crazy.
Fun fact, not that this matters at all in the real world, but my UFC 5 league, Olberg just beat Pereira to become the champion. So, hey,
Yeah.
we'll see if it transpires into real life. But Navajo, last thing I want to do, and if this is, I don't, are you a hardcore enough fan to if I give you like five very basic yearly award categories, do you have a nominee for each maybe?
Oh mate, I'm bloody hopeless.
Well, I mean they're
Uh,
like they're the easy ones, like a knockout of the year, fight of the year, fighter of the year. You think you could do that
yeah.
maybe?
Knockout of the year, fight of the year. Yep, yeah.
Let,
I'll,
let's start
I'll
with the
give it a
knockout of
go.
the year. Who's your knockout of the year?
Damn, I saw one recently. Oh, do you have any like what were the what were the what
Let
were
me.
the
Why don't I just type in top 10
yeah, read
best
read read me
knockouts of the
read,
year?
read me
The
some out and I'll let you know. I saw some
consensus
recently, but I forgot the names.
consensus. It's pretty much Gaethje and Holloway. But I mean, there was
Oh yeah.
also
Actually, yeah, definitely that one. Yeah,
Volkanovski
definitely that one.
Holloway to or Topuria Holloway. I mean Topuria Volkanovski.
I reckon the Holloway one. I think just like the fifth round, pointing at the floor, that was crazy. And you just saw the like crowd reaction. I think that was, yeah, definitely that would be the best one for me. For
Well,
sure, for sure.
rather than than make you give me a list, I'll ask if you agree with the winners. How about that?
Yeah.
All right, well, let me let me go to that. Sorry, my homified editors, but you're gonna edit this one out for real. We're gonna go 2024 MMA Awards. There you go. They do a great job over there. All right, here we go. For male fighter of the year, the consensus is pretty much Alex Pereira.
Yeah.
Obviously, Ilia Topuria is up there too. They each have 3 wins. So,
Yeah.
who do you take between those two, maybe?
Yeah, it's a hard one. I think when you're talking about fighting, you have to go with Pereira, man. I think just the activity and just being a real fighter, like those short notice matchups he was taking, bro. Like when you don't need to, you're the champion, and he just put it on for the fans, bro. Gotta go with Alex Pereira, bro. I think the only argument Tapura has is just like two crazy names,
Yeah.
like two goats. So obviously, I see the argument there, but man, I'm gonna have to go with Pereira, bro. I think he was just the whole fan favorite as well. Like everyone was going crazy for him this year. He was just fine out of his, didn't even need to, but was just fighting. And yeah, I think that's what I like about him, bro. Is he's just got balls, bro. I'll definitely have to say Alex Pereira.
So let's flip the script and go female fighter of the year.
Oh
Obviously, this
gosh.
is no, I'll give you 2 options. I'll give you two options.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm not gonna make you think about all that. But the first one is Zhang Wei Li, who just dominated Yan Shonan at UFC 300.
yeah,
Or, and this is my pick, not UFC, Dakota Ditcheva from PFL. Any thoughts there?
yeah. I've been hearing about her. I've been hearing about her. Heard she's carving up.
She just won the
Uh,
million too.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. She did. She did. Yeah. Obviously, I never watched any of those fights, but from what it said, she's making waves. As it come across my page, um, yeah, I'd say yeah, give it to her. Give it to her.
and which was a better card in 2024? UFC 300, which was just obviously monumental in itself, or excuse me, not International Fight Week, UFC 306 at the Sphere. Or, I'll throw that in too. International Fight Week
Yeah.
was UFC 303, where Pereira stepped in to save the day again. So, which of those 3 cards stuck out to you the most?
Yeah, definitely not the Sphere. I didn't think the Sphere was that.
You didn't dig it?
Nah, I didn't really like the Sphere that much.
I
I thought
loved
that
it.
was a little overhyped. 300 maybe, or maybe the one that Pereira made. Definitely out of those two. I'll have to say 300. I'll just go with 300 for
And then my
sure.
my last award, so to speak, and you can pass if you want, but is there a particular moment? It can be in the cage, outside of the cage, even personal for you, a moment that sticks out for moment of the year.
What with myself or
Whatever comes to you, either in the UFC or to yourself, doesn't matter. They're both related.
oh yeah, was that what has happened this year? Like my moment of the year?
Let's go with your moment of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, definitely Bruce Buffer saying my name. Well, that was crazy. I think I looked out in the crowd. I looked up in the crowd, bro, and I was like New Zealand was the first place I'd fought, or the only place I fought in until this year. Then I fought in Melbourne, and then I ended up getting my UFC opportunities, blah blah blah. But for about 7 years, I only fought in New Zealand. I'm looking up, and I just see the crowd. I see Bruce Buffer calling out my name, and for a moment, I said to myself, I go, Jesus Christ, how the hell did I fool everybody to get here? I was like, man, I tricked everyone, man. I tricked everyone, and now I'm here. So I better live up to the hype now and get this win. So no, it was crazy. That was probably the moment of the year for me. It was just like, holy shit, I did it. Like I brought myself here.
It's
So
surreal,
yeah,
man. That's
it's
surreal right there.
crazy, crazy.
And Navajo, before I get you out of here, we went a little over, so thank you very much for the time. But fans all around the world, especially after that big win,
Yeah.
anything you'd like to say to everybody?
Oh man, just stick around, stick around. There's the best is yet to come. So yeah, if you were upset with the performance, man, it is what it is. We're gonna be fighting. So we'll get some good names, and if you want me to lose, then tune in, bet against me. Make lose some more money. So it is
Love
what
it,
it
man.
is.
Love it. Well, hey, next
Big
time we
brother.
talk, you'll have a fight booked. You'll have a full set of hair. But ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah, brother.
stay on the lookout in the new year. Navajo Sterling,
Man,
a
thank
bit of
you, thank
danger in
you.
the UFC.
Yeah, brother.